You were listed as the underdog, believe it or not, for that fight.
I know, I didn't believe it either.
Did that add some fuel to your fire?
Honestly, I didn't know I was the underdog until like the day of the fight or the day before, when someone asked me in an interview about being the underdog. I was just as surprised as everybody else should have been. No, but you know, I was surprised, and I didn't really. I mean, I kind of took it a little bit disrespectfully. Just, I mean, you have one fight in the UFC. You know, with the Ultimate Fighter, I've had like over 10 now, and I've proven myself in the organization and in the lightweight. And so I don't know. I don't really know what the rankings come from or the odds. Half the time, you know, it's whoever's more popular or whoever has more hype around them. But you know, I went out and I, you know, really did add some fuel to the fire and really wanted to make a statement in the lightweight division.
There were so many things going on for you personally around that card. What are the kind of positives that you've walked away from that contest?
Just really, you know, I really fell in love with fighting overseas. I really plan on hopefully fighting over here, you know, most of the time. I enjoy, you know, I jumped on the opportunity to come to Berlin to promote myself and the UFC in Europe and Middle East, anywhere that they go on this side of the world. I really enjoy it. I really feel a lot more at home as far as the fighter out here, and it was really cool to have a first time experience to be like a 100% hometown hero. That, you know, usually even when I was living in Utah, fighting Utah, or California, fighting California, there's always, you know, you have about. I fought in Seattle where I grew up, and I had like 30 or 40 friends there, and they were really loud and it was pretty cool, but never a whole stadium, so that was really a unique experience that I definitely would love to enjoy that again one time.
Absolutely, and you made some changes, obviously moved to San Francisco now with your training camp. Give us an insight into why that's worked out for you both personally and professionally with the fight career.
Personally, I was born, you know, in California. That's where my family lives. My grandmother, my mom's always down there, and my brothers and stuff. So personally, I'm a lot more closer to my family. A lot more, like, culturally, there's a lot of Palestinians in San Francisco, and you know, a lot more of my family, and a lot more, like, I mean, I'm a lot in Utah. I was kind of an odd character out there, I would say. Stuck out like a sore thumb. But for training and fighting, I'm surrounding myself with the best. You know, Gilbert Melendez is #1 contender in the world, and that's, you know, one of my main training partners. Jake Shields, you know, proven himself as a top guy. And there's always a lot of different competition coming through. Sometimes this guy comes up through San Francisco, so there's just a lot of different people and a lot of different looks, which really it helped me fight, because you know, you get the new guy all the time, a new experience with a new fighter, just like a fight. You never know. Sometimes the old training partners get a little stagnant, and you're kind of used to each other. So it's really fun to just kind of mix it up and bring, you know, new people in.
Linked in with the training, and I've listened to a couple of interviews recently where you said that what figured for you is you're working in a much more calm capacity at the moment. However, just to sort of challenge that, when I saw you in Abu Dhabi, you looked like you were a little offended by some of the stuff that was going on. You just referenced the odds, and you also went out and said that you treated it as your world title fight. Where do you go from there when you've considered something to be your world title for self-motivation? And were you talking about being more calm in your preparation rather than going into battle, if you like?
I mean, every fight, I mean, you ask these guys, it's going to be their most important fight, your next world champion fight for yourself. You're only as good as your last fight, and so, you know, the next one I get, hopefully it's on this side of the world, and that's what I'm planning on doing. I'm going to treat it like another big championship fight. You know, I believe I'm the best 55er in the world, and I got to prove it and back up what I believe. And I'm sure everybody up here believes that they're the best in their weight class, and it's, you know, no disrespect to anybody in my weight class, but until I'm the champion, until I prove that to the world, you know, I'm not satisfied, and I'm gonna just keep going after every fight like it's the last one I'm gonna have.
As far as I know, no contest has been scheduled for you yet, so very much open season.
Yeah.
Not looking to be inflammatory. Are there any guys out there that you think you match up well with? I think I've seen on the message boards a few guys have said Cruikshank would be a good fight for you. They think that would make an exciting contest. Is something like that of interest right now?
I don't have anyone specifically on my radar, but I'm definitely hoping for somebody that has been in the organization. You know, I keep fighting guys that had a few fights here or there, and it's always been almost a lose-lose situation. I go out, I beat a guy who's had 1 or 2 fights in the UFC. Everybody's like, oh, well, you had more experience, you should beat him. I go out, if I lose to those guys, then it's like, oh, well, yeah, he's not really ready for the top tier guys. I mean, I believe I am, and I want them, you know, challenge me. You know, I'm asking Joe, come on, throw it at me. I'm ready to take the challenge. I'm ready to fight. I want to be, you know, out here on the main card, on the big fight, and really put myself, you know, as a top tier. 26 now, and I really believe that in the next year and a half, I'm going to be a contender, and in the next year or so, be winning some big fights. So just accept any challenge. Let's do it. Put me a big name, big card on this side of the world, Joe. That's what I'm asking.
Joe Silva, we hope he's watching. Good luck with that.
Yeah.
Thanks, Ramsey. Thanks very much. So on